Oh boy, it is a bad Wi-Fi day. Luckily, I'm not on Wi-Fi. They said the storm was gonna come by, but I don't think it is. But I'm on one of my devices that's using Wi-Fi, and it's like, whoa, is this crap? Let's see how this goes. Okay. Hopefully the chat will run fine. Half tempted to bring out my laptop, but it's kind of been put away for a bit. That's not a euphemism that it's dead, it's just, you know, I truly did put it away. I am like watching this stream in 144p. Woohoo. I can barely see anything on my screen. Okie dokie, well, let's see. Alright, welcome. I'm gonna wait just a tiny bit. Like always. To give people adequate time. Get myself situated as well. Man, it's feeling hot. Yeah, it's 72 degrees in my room. It could be hotter. Sometimes it reaches 75. And that's uncomfortable, but could be worse. I wonder, should I keep the accompany node out? I brought that out because of like, bring this accompany node with you, Yorva. I've had this out the entire time since Ozzy's Law. Oh, it must be nighttime now because the music calmed the hell down. Actually, didn't I get, oh gosh, I have so many new minions. I got this guy last time. Made the decision. I'm like, I'm gonna pull this guy out. Poor old Rogo. My buddy. Wait, was that it? That was truly the guy, that's not it. His name is just Porogo. I'm gonna like to believe that this was my tank. I still can't believe. I'm like, that little guy was our tiny little tank. Tinier than a Lalafell. Alright, checking my messages. Okie dokie. So, welcome to part 2 of Gears of Change. We couldn't finish it all in one go. It is a very long patch. We'll see how many dungeons we can do afterwards. But let's see. We're gonna go through the Grand Melee. And then I know what's going to happen, but hopefully we're going to get a peace conference out of all of this. But it's not looking too good. I got fucking roofied. Thancred had to scoop me up off the floor, and we were both awkward about that, because usually it should have been the other way around. But, also, I like that Warrior of Light was roofied, and, like, we're just not gonna talk about that. Like, we're just gonna move on very quickly. I mean, I guess we do have better shit to do, but dude, even if you were roofied by some evil mastermind that was behind some sort of secret plot, I still think you'd be pretty traumatized by that. Averick should not be asking out the Warrior of Light for drinks at all. Like, he's like, hey, you want to go for a drink? And then you have war flashbacks to Nanamo. And then right after that, you get roofied. Like, Warrior of Light is never going to drink again. Alright, so we got a picture here of all the Alliance leaders plus Amerik. Ooh. Well... See, right now, I'm rocking the Shire gear, so... not all of these are, you know, gonna be bested slot. I forgot, some of these weapons were really cool. So back in the day, I love that this is just a frickin' rifle, but you're holding it with one hand. These would have been the... oh yeah, I love this staff. I remember this staff. So yeah, I had it. So these were Tombstone gear from 3.2. So they're just giving it out as rewards now. Oh, this is... oh, it's been so long for me. This is how you get the victory emote. So, alright, well, I'm gonna go. Sir Amerik informs me that the Alliance leaders have agreed to his proposal. The Grand Melee will be held here, in the shadow of the Gates of Judgment. I like that, like, can you just say at the Gates of Judgment? Like, in the shadow of the Gates of Judgment. And inside of the capital. Okay, but I know where this takes place. Inside of the capital, nobody looking outside is going to be able to see it. I guess that doesn't matter. An announcement has been made, and the Alliance forces are currently en route. The eyes of Ishgard are upon us, Yorva. We must not fail. A rare opportunity to see you pit yourself against allied forces outside of Cartano, perhaps. Nice, Thancred, for making PvP canon thing. I guess PvP has always been canon. He's making reference to the Cartano Flats, which is where PvP takes place, and it's purely just, you know, an excuse to have some player versus player action, but kudos on them for making it canon. I would not miss this for the world. Especially, Yorva's like, you know, you can come with me to PvP anytime you like, Thancred. He's like, no, I've seen it. He's like, it's a whole lot of, you either get slaughtered right out the gate, or you're losing for like 30 minutes up until the last second where your team actually wins. Look at all these people here. Ain't often highborn dandies deign to fight alongside us hoi polloi. Yorva's like, can you say that again? What? Like all our name days rolled into one it is. Then again, it's our national pride that's at stake. National and personal. I ain't about to let a snotty-nosed lordling show me up. The second commander and Hilda's lieutenant shall see to the security of the city in my absence. Who's this? Oh, wait. You're talking about, what's his face? Who loves his wife? Handaloo. Why don't you say his name? Let's see. The melee demands my undivided attention. They're like, I'm sure Handaloo has it. He's just... Oh boy. 'Tis a matter of pride for the Alliance as well. They will not scruple to send their best against us. Yet we must not be cowed. Too much rests on our success. Yorva's like, I know it's only for like 30 minutes, but we only have Handaloo. I mean, Handaloo is a pretty competent guy, so, you know. It looks to be a veritable who's who of the Alliance. Where is the Alliance? The only question is, who came to watch and who came to fight? Nanamo. Definitely Nanamo. Was that a joke? Is that finally a joke out of your lips? There she is. I say, when you didn't appear, I began to question, yeah, nothing. Never mind. What, you think I just... Yorva's like, nah, fuck that loser. I'm not going. To think that we are mere moments away from facing the cream of Eorzean soldiery in battle. That I am mere, Well, what if... Oh, what am I saying? I have to stop imagining the worst. I must think of the victory. Of the glory. Of the stories I will tell Ottawa when he awakes. I have now become PvP now enabled. I am ready, old girl. Are you? Oh, Yorva's like, yeah, but are you done pissing your pants yet? By the Fury, how could I forget? Father bid me present this to you. It's a picture of a butt. I know it's sudden, this butt, but we believe the men would find it inspiring if you bore the colors of House Tom into battle. Pray, do us this honor. During the Grand Melee, some of your gear will be glamored. I forgot that they make you cosplay. She's like, get a close shot of my katana, though. Like, that's the important part. The katana bit.
Let all here present heed well the rules of engagement.
We don't talk about Fight Club. That's the first rule. They're like, we gotta give you a tutorial. Ooh, tactical points. I thought they got rid of all of that. We're not allowed to have TP anymore. Wow. What a bitch, though. He got KO'd in one hit. So they have Battle High. The purple tether is Battle High. Oh boy, man. So I have like no memory of this. I remember an instance where you fight the Alliance. I don't remember all of this,
For the honor and the glory of Ishgard.
I like to imagine that you just gave Yorva a little pamphlet and she's like reading it and she's like, I don't comprehend. What is TP?
All is ready then. Very well. Brave men and women of the Eorzean Alliance, let the grand melee begin!
For violence. Alright. I guess I'm gonna go over here. Hi, Lucia. Do you want me to go over here? Now with the mongrel. She doesn't get her full name, not her government name. No government name here.
Is that all you've got?
I'm rooting for Militia Musketeer over here. That Storm veteran just said, like, I was chosen? Like, this is exactly like when you're playing PvP and you're like, oh no, I have Battle High 5 or something like that. And you're like, shit, when did that happen? Well, so far we're killing it. Oh no, Lucia has Battle High. I have to protect her. I'm sorry, Pippin. This guy's got... Oh, wait! It's, Hulo, or Hulo, yeah. I know who that guy is. He's the commander of the Serpent Flames, if you, report to them. I'm used to reporting to, the Flames.
Right there!
Ooh. Not Temple Knight. No! Temple Knight! Hey, Serpent Commander, keep it. Oh, Pippin's back. Shit. This is, oh no. It is I. I have the battle high. Who's... Cyclops! Cyclops, everyone on your guard! I'm pissing in my pants! All forces, fall back! Thinker's like... No. Just... I'm sorry. When did you become One Punch Man? Continue the melee. I will deal with him. He's like, I always wanted to punch a Cyclops. I don't remember this part. He just straight up just punched. He Falcon punched that guy. Huh, daft sod. Well, you are the man. Get back to it. Amrick's like, I'm a little bit turned on by that, man. All forces, form a line on Yorva, now! She's like, that's right, I have the battle high. I can't believe... Tinker just walked up, punched him in the face, and then ran off. God. Amrick's like, we can do that? That's allowed? Holy shit. He just like fractured Amrick's spine. Well met. I will not lie. I was hoping it would come to this. So then, shall we dance? He's like, this is in my top 5 fantasies. Amrick's like, damn it all, I wanted to fight. He's like, that was in my top 5 fantasies. Oh, here we go. She's like, he's got one arm. Like, how bad could it be? You know. I like that there's still fighting going on behind me. It's just the two of them in there. What do you And Mandolin's like, they're just in there. Like, yeah, what did you... I guess he's not used to, Warrior of Light shenanigans. I like that, you know, the melee rages on, but no points are being scored right now. Oh boy. What? So we're allowing Ifrit nails now. Oh boy. Immortal Flame. That's his LB, you know? I mean, I think I'm doing pretty good, Averick. Like, he's almost dead. You know, I guess fighting Raubon is probably within the top 5 of Warrior of Light fantasies, too. Like... Almost everybody here, they don't have any sexual fantasies. It's just like, I want to fight that guy. We need to have a poll, like, Warrior of Lights, give us your top 5, who do you want to beat up, like... And you know, they'll be into the freakiest fights.
Did she win? Then we...
We lost. No. Our points were 2 behind, and her 1 win didn't make up enough points.
Victory is ours! Ishgard! Ishgard!
I still like to believe the Alliance is like...
Well fought, my friend! You truly are the warrior of warriors. Thank the Fury you were on our side.
So am I gonna mention that weird Cyclops that just came up? Like... I still think the Alliance let us win. Like, let them have it. They're having a bad year. Are you gonna do it?
Oh, my lungs are burning, and I can barely stand.
You could have done the Hotchafont. There you go.
I didn't think I could do it, but then I did. We did. We faced the Alliance's best, and together, with one heart, with one purpose, we prevailed. After 1,000 years of hardship, of strife and bloodshed, we are strong enough to rise to any challenge, be it on the battlefield or beyond. The future holds so much promise, so much joy. We need only show them the way.
Manolin does a full 180 because of structured violence. He went from crying on the ground to a Giga Chad like... See, this is why Aemric's fit to lead, because he knows his people too well. He's like, give them violence, but the controlled kind. And now all of them are happy.
A truly magnificent display, Sir Knight. While doubtless less than pleased, I am quite sure the Grand Companies are honored to have been bested by such valiant warriors.
Is anybody gonna go check on Pancred?
The honor was ours, Your Grace.
We're all just sitting there like, yeah, drinks are on me, and like...
I am pleased to see that Ishgard's proud martial tradition is being upheld.
Yorva's sitting over there like, he's fine. He's fine.
I trust you will fight alongside your brothers and sisters in the Eorzean Alliance with the same fervor you displayed in opposing them. I note that our friend elected to take the field in Ishgardian colors.
She did get adopted by one of our lords.
At my behest, Your Grace. If we have given offense, the blame lies with me.
They're like, no, we're just jealous.
Fear not, Sir Knight. It was a surprise, nothing more. And any hint of ill feeling was thoroughly dispelled by the spectacle of our mutual friend's duel with General Raubarn.
She's like, I know this is a personal fantasy of his.
On the subject of surprises, I could not help but marvel at the passion and unity of purpose displayed by your countrymen, given the troubling reports we have received of late.
She's like, a child was thrown off of a church?
I shall take that as a compliment, Your Grace. The events to which you allude are the price of change. The end of the Dragonsong War marks the beginning of a new era for our nation, and for the people, high and lowborn alike, who will lead her into the future.
Ah, yes. The people. Change is indeed a perilous thing, for we who seek it, and they who fear it. I shall pray for Ishgard, and for you.
There he is.
Well, that made for a refreshing change. Congratulations on your victory, by the way.
We really shouldn't have been worried about him. I just wanted to mark the absurdity of it all.
Ishgardians certainly seem happy with themselves. I, for my part, am merely glad you did not strain anything in the process of single-handedly winning the battle for them.
Oh, come on. Temple Banneret did a lot. I think you pulled something, didn't you?
Tis but a scratch, I assure you. And I will not suffer you to worry over me. Not when we have a dozen far more important concerns. Make that 24. Still, as Y'shtola never tires of telling me, we can but face them head-on one at a time. One day at a time. As Minfilia would have done.
Yorva's like, are you sure you don't need therapy? Like, she's like, have you taken any rest? Thancred's like, I have not slept in over 48 hours, don't worry about me. And Yorva's like, I'm sorry. As long as I live, I shall never forget that duel. It was he's like, my father finally got to fulfill one of his top 5 fantasies. It was an inspiring and humbling in equal measure. I feel honor-bound to point out, however, that my father was fighting one-handed. Yorva's like, well, I can tie one hand if you want me to. The first thing he says to me is Thal's balls. Thal's balls. I had forgotten what it was like to feel so alive. Yorva's like, are you gonna be okay? Not since leaving the Blood Sands have I had the privilege. Not since the Bull of Alamigo hung up his swords. Back then, the outcome might have been different. But I do not begrudge you in your victory. I know how far you've come. How far you have mastered being a samurai, even though you're terrible at it. How much you have endured. Our fight only confirmed it. We shall have to do this again one day, when time allows. I shall look forward to it. Now go. Go to the Ishgardians and celebrate your victory. You have earned it. And if you ever want to join the Immortal Flames, I'll be back there. Bye. Come, Pippin. Her Grace is expecting us. Lead on, Father. We just gotta go up these steps here. Don't mind me on the back of one of my enslaved dragons. I'll take it back out. What does Lucia have to say? The messengers have already been dispatched. Let us pray that this victory has the desired effect. Funny how we all accomplished this in like a day. Like, I can only imagine Warrior, like, got roofied, everybody got dismayed by, you know, the people getting their asses kicked at the Not Yet Peace Conference. Everybody went home, and then they're like, hey, they won the Grand Melee, and they're like, oh, everything's fine now. Like, I think we need to let them sit and think for a bit. That was just another battle for you, I bet, but for my lot, ugh. If it weren't so much the fighting as not tripping over each other's feet, his lordship might think about laying on some actual training for us next time. She's like, there was a lot of people out there. I confess, it stung my pride to be brushed aside so easily. Are you sure that it only stung your pride and it didn't just snap your back in half? But when the flames subsided and I saw you standing there triumphant, there was only gladness in my heart. And Aeric's like, now I too have a top 5 fantasy. Said your goodbyes. I mean, only to Raubon and Pippin, that's it. In all these years I have known Raubon, I cannot recall ever seeing him look so happy in defeat. Well, Everything seems to be falling into place, does it not? The Ishgardians have claimed their symbolic victory, and the Eorzean alliance has strengthened in their process. Be proud, Yorva. You have made this happen. Just like everything else. He's like, do you want a weapon? I want the gun. She's like, I want a gun. And Thancred's like, can you even use that? And she's like, absolutely not. And he's like, okay, we'll take this gun. You've learned the emote victory. That's a really good emote. Oh, the title hurts me. Lore fact while I take a look over some of these weapons. For those we can yet save. Has been a motto of Minfilia and Alfino, honestly, for that matter. Oh yeah, I love the Astrologian weapon. We have done it! Nay, you have done it! Because I think you were the only one scoring points, honestly. You have brought us the victory we so desperately needed. There is naught left but to return to the capital. Come, let us see what reception awaits us. And reputation, honestly. She's like, well, bye. I'm going to go drink and
My lord!
be covered in women.
Honorwa, my boy. Shouldn't you be in bed?
Thank you for your concern, my lord. But I have largely recovered from my ordeal, and I have naught but several scars to show for it, which I have been told some women may find appealing.
I see. And to think I was worried sick over you.
He's 12. He'll bounce back real
I'm
nice.
not sure I understand, my lord.
Well, let's put that theory to the proof, shall we?
My lord?
'Twould seem that a great many things have occurred in my absence. I thought I might begin to make amends by welcoming you in person.
The messengers spared not their chocobos to bring us word of your victory in the grand melee. I cannot well describe our elation when we heard the news. It called to mind the day we rejoined the Eorzean alliance, and I glimpsed hope rekindled in the eyes of the people.
The Fury herself ushers us into a new era. Sir Emmerich, the time is now.
Aye, that it is. Reconvene the conference and summon Vidofnir to Falcon's Nest. We will make peace with Hraesvelga's brood and hasten this bloody war to its end.
Yes, Lord Commander.
I will send word to Artoirel and bid him resume preparations. Emmanuelaine, you will place yourself at your brother's disposal. He will be glad of your assistance.
No stopping it now, is there? We should inform Y'shtola and the others.
My dear friend, I doubt I will ever be able to thank you enough. But when the conference is successfully concluded, I damn well mean to try.
He's like, I'm going to make up for that fumble earlier, I swear. Now it was very, Yorva was like, it was very bright, now all of a sudden it's very dark, Alfino. Alfino was like, yeah, the weather's like that. They say you dueled General Raoban within a ring of flames. That was really dramatic. I did not think the man so ostentatious. What that I could have seen it. Yorva's like, yeah, how do they do that? Because I want to figure out how to do that, because I also want to challenge my enemies in a ring of fire. That has now been the second time I've been forced into a ring of fire, and I need to figure out how to do that party trick. After we parted ways, he's like, anyways, after we parted ways in Matoya's cave, I returned here to speak with Tataru. We agreed to tell the others only that our search for Midfilia had reached an impasse. He's like, I don't know how to tell them that she's been transformed into something beyond a human being anymore. Like, that's kind of died, but not really. I subsequently, in sequence, learned that you had left for Falcon's Nest, but I thought it best to keep to myself for a time. I am wont to rely on you ever much when we are together, and I needed to think, to reflect. Yorva's like, good on you, Alfino, for recognizing codependency. I see your therapy is actually going very well. I still do, I suspect. And he's like, I am 16 and I constantly look for role models, but matters here seem to be coming to a head. In short, there are some things I feel I must say, though nothing so urgent that it cannot wait until after the conference. So let us make for Falcon's Nest, and see if Lord Artoirel has need of our assistance. I really want to know what Tataru had to say when Alfino's like, she's become word of the mother, and she's like, what the hell does that mean? He's like, well, she's been transformed into a spokesperson for the Mother Crystal, you know, the god of everything. And Tataru's like, okay, so she's never coming back for brunch. And he's like, no, she's never coming back for brunch. Here we go. Let's do this again. Hopefully this time it will go better. As Sir Aymeric hoped, Ishgard's success at the Grand Melee has done much to restore the people's faith in this endeavor. He's like, I never would have guessed it just took one Grand Melee and everybody's like, okay, we're fine. Look on their faces, Yorva. Nervous, yet hopeful. Expectant, in a word. Yorva's like, okay, so you read the dictionary, alright? Oh, met Mr. Sauvage, and thank you for looking after my brother. He's like, he's actually grown up a bit, that's really weird. They say he fought bravely, and he did not dishonor his house. But you, my lady, to you we owe everything. It's like you're the main protagonist of everything. As you can see, we have made every effort to strike while the iron is hot. We made our intentions known, and that all would be welcome to attend. And so they came. By the grace of the Fury, they came. The ceremony will not be a lengthy affair, but there is still much to be done. I would speak with you more, but I must see to my duties. As for you and Master Alfino, you will do not but enjoy yourselves, and do not accept any drinks from anybody. Is that clear? If any dare beg your assistance again, I will have words. Alfina's like, I'm sorry, I missed that part. What about drinks? And Yorva's like, we'll talk later. Well, there you have it. We have been forbidden from meddling. Oh no, he figured out what our real plot is. Shall we wait, or have you other matters to attend to before the ceremony begins? Yorva's like, I guess I should go do St. Moshian's. Like, she's like, hold on, I gotta go to an arboretum. And Alfina's like, what? No, we'll just go. She's like, actually, no, the arboretum can wait, it's fine. Excellent. I only hope Thancred and the others will not be late. Epical events do not come around very often. And Yorva's like, ooh, once again, you read the dictionary, ooh. They all came, they're like, I really need to make sure it's not a dragon dong. Like, they're all like, we're secretly hoping that it is, but it is not.
The appointed hour approaches.
Aye.
She begged leave to watch the proceedings. I saw no reason not to grant it.
Should I choose to deviate from my prepared remarks, I ask that you trust in my judgment.
He's like, let me do a little bit of improv.
Otherwise?
He's like, if I talk about how sexy dragons are, don't stop me, okay? I like that it implies, like, Lucia has, like, she reads over all of his speeches. I mean, I think he would definitely trust her, of all people, to be like, can you edit my speech, please?
Ah, how long it hath been since our peoples met thus, children of Thordan, even by our reckoning.
Vidofnir, daughter of Hraesvelga, we give thanks for your visit, and bid you welcome to Falcon's Nest.
Our sire bade us hearken unto the whispers of our hearts. They spoke to us of a paradise lost, of bonds of brotherhood which they yearned to see restored.
Ours too yearn for such a restoration, and they have guided us here this day, that they might yearn no longer. Brothers and sisters, ye who stand as witness, hearken to me! Since the days of Eld, when the bonds betwixt man and dragon were sundered by our hand, our peoples have known only war. Bloodshed without end, losses beyond counting, and still we fought. And still we fought. Some wounds do not heal. The dead cannot be returned to us. But we, the living, can yet choose another course. Here and now, we can lay down this burden, this hatred, this vengeance. Our forebears fought not so that we could die, but that we might live. So let us honor their sacrifice and spare our children this death sentence. Let us gift them a new legacy. Life
Betwixt our peoples yawneth a divide deeper than the deepest abyss, wider than the widest sea. Generations will live and die ere this divide is bridged. Knowing this, doth thy heart yet yearn for peace, son of Thordan?
Look now on the legacy we would leave to our children. A dream of peace, inscribed in stone for generations to come.
They're like, it's even better than a dongle. It's Shiva and Race Vlogger fanfiction.
Beloved, as they were so long ago, happy and at peace. The dream they shared shall be ours once more.
Never!
Somebody really hates that fanfiction. They're like, that's not my pairing.
Your bow!
He didn't even like, that arrow absolutely just hit. It's just, he just said no. Body horror.
Child of Dravania, art thou grown so forgetful that thou wouldst forsake kith and kin and consort with the spawn of Thordan? That thou wouldst dare contemplate peace? Hearken unto me, all of you! The final chorus is nigh, and all will be held to account. All will bathe in the flames of retribution. Till the coming of that day, look you on your sins and despair, for none shall escape my wrath. None shall escape my revenge!
7 hells!
Oh god, you sound so terrified.
Damn you, Nidhogg.
Yorva's like, oh yeah, you weren't there at Ozzy's Law. I already saw this bit. Like, this isn't news to me. I saw this before. It's not that big of a deal, honestly. Yeah.
Hells, take that worm! While he lives, we'll never know peace.
Aye! There'll be no end to this war till Nidhogg is dead and gone!
So let's kill the bastard and be done with it. Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg!
Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg!
Yorva's like, oh man. She's like, you know, looking back, we really shouldn't have forgotten that whole, hey, remember when Estinian transformed into a dragon and flew off? Like, that was kind of on us. We kind of just sat back and be like, well, I guess that'll be fine. Or was like, well, I don't think we're getting cake after this. There they go, the last of the guests. Having come hither with hope in their hearts, they depart with hatred and bloodlust. Or was like, wait, I mean, they are Ishgardian. Until the moment I saw him strike, I still held some hope that what you had seen in Azislav was an illusion, perhaps. I'm sorry, Alfredo. I know when the Warrior of Light walked up to you and was like, yeah, Estinian took hold of both eyeballs and then became Nidhogg and flew away. I know that sounds fucking bonkers, but considering everything we've been through, can you give me something here? Okay, but he acted without hesitation, as did Sir Aymeric. For a mercy, Vidofnir's wound was not mortal, or so Lucia tells me. The dragon was spirited away to Annick's shrine to receive care from her brethren. We can but hope her recovery is swift. But such was surely Nidhogg's intent. To deliver a proclamation not only to the children of Thornton, but to his kindred. War is coming, and ye who do not stand with us stand apart. She was an excellent example. Or, well, she was an example, but she was an excellent example. A message to her brood. Another instrument of his vengeance. Like Estinian. He's like, do you want a weapon? And Yorva's like, I'm sorry. He's like, do you want a weapon? And she's like, okay. And he just like hands her. She's like, where did you get all these weapons, Alfino? He's like, just take it, please. Okay. Oh, what's in here? Oh, the whole ass armor set. I don't know. When I said I wished to speak with you after the conference, I confess I envisioned rather happier circumstances. If anything, however, this latest tragedy makes the need more pressing. There are things I must say. Yorva's like, she's standing there with her hands on her hips like, when do you not have something to say, Alfino? Not to the Warrior of Light, or even my fellow scion, but to you, Yorva, my friend. Yorva's like, oh man, now I feel bad for making fun of you. But not here, no. Ah, but of course. The Incessorary in Camp Dragonhead is still open to us. Or Intercessory. Let us go there. The falling snows, as it were. Let's see, that's this one. There we go. Those who play Final Fantasy all the time, do you ever have to check and then like double check and then like triple check where you're teleporting? Because I get that brain all the time where I'm like, where am I going? Oh yes. But then I'm like not sure at all, but I'm like, no, that's where I gotta go, right? And then sometimes I check and double check, and then I end up in Limsa Lominsa, and I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't where I want it to be. That's where the trauma comes from. You're like, why am I back in Limsa Lominsa? Somebody help me.
Forgive me. That took longer than expected.
Yorva's like, it's been 10 seconds.
You seem puzzled. Oh, these. I thought something warming might not go amiss. It was not all that long ago that we sat here, you and I. In our very own falling snows, as Lord Horshvon called it. I still struggle to believe he is gone. And Azelle too. I had such hopes for her. Master Matoya asked me what it was all for. Why we fight. And why we die. Were I still commander of the Braves, I would doubtless have replied, for the future of Eorzea. But I'm not that man. Not anymore. I needed a new answer. One that I could live with. And when I saw Estinian at the ceremony, I knew at last what it was. I do not want to be a man who sacrifices his friends and family for a cause. I want to fight for Estinian, and I want to save him. When Nidhogg leads the Horde into battle, Ser Emmerich and his forces will do what they believe must be done. That is their choice to make. Yet even if Ser Emmerich is willing to forsake Estinian, I am not. We must fight for him, for he is our friend and ally. We may struggle, we may fail, but we must try.
Back in the day, I always had an easy time with Zuyaya because I always chose the ... option. But I think we'll find a way to save him. Yorva's like, I think that's actually pretty cool. That would be really cool of us.
I know we will.
So, when I originally went through Heavensward, I 100% was like, oh, Estinian, he's fucking gone. Like, we'd gone through the death of Horshvon in front of us. Azelle just literally dissipated herself right in front of our eyes. And within a span of all that, then Estinian gets possessed and transforms into Nidhogg. And I was like, there is no way this doesn't end in us just putting that fucking bastard down. Then this cutscene happens where Alfino, in a very mature manner, because we were just discussing on last stream, like he has a naive personality. He's shocked that Minfilia is gone, and he doesn't want her to be gone, but she is. And so now he walks up to you, Warrior of Light, and just says, I want to save Estinian. You know, even if we can't do that, even if we fail, we have to try. And that was the first time I was like, First of all, I had forgiven Alfino for all of his annoying crimes for A Realm Reborn, because, back in the day, I think Alfino had the reputation of being a snotty brat, because his A Realm Reborn, personality is, very snotty, and he comes off as very, very arrogant, especially at times where he's talking with Minfilia herself. And then Heavensward, he's a lot more mellowed out, but you can tell it's because he's scared. He made a huge mistake, he's sad about it, and so, but you can still tell he's not quite grasping what he wants to do with himself, But it's this cutscene right here that I was like, this guy, he's figuring something out. He truly is. This guy's got it. So when he said, I'm going to try to save Estinian, at that moment, even me, the player, I was like, fuck it, we are pulling Estinian out of the fires of fucking hell. Not even for Estinian's sake anymore, but we're doing it for Alfino. Thank you, Yorva. He's like, I don't know what you were just talking into the camera about just now, but it is unfair of me to unburden myself in this manner, time after time, but I am glad that you permit me nonetheless. You are my true friend and ally. Though not all of our fellow Scions will support our stance on Estinian. She's like, I know Y'shtola is going to be like, oh, hell no. I have faith that we will win them over in due course. Such is the infectious power of hope. Right. That is quite enough solemn introspection for one day, maybe, I don't know. I think we would both benefit from some time in the company of Tataru. She stays for us at Fortom Manor. She's like, I don't feel like the bar right now with Minfilia and everything. The bar is too much of a bummer. Let us not keep her waiting any longer. Just gonna return back to Foundation. So yeah, this was actually the first time where I was like, maybe we can save Estinian, maybe, or more like in my heart I just felt this determination like, oh, we're going to get that fucker. It's like, I don't even care if he even wants to be saved. Too fucking bad. We're going after you now, bro. Yet again, we walk an all too familiar path. And he's like, and yet again, I am leaving you right here where I leave all of the quests when we end the patch. Isn't it funny how we keep ending up in the same exact spot? Yorva's like, don't think about it too much. I am reminded when we first came to this manor, which by Square Enix's terms was like 1 week ago. Lost and uncertain, we were granted succor in our hour of need. We were saved, and now it is our turn to return the favor. Hear, hear! Let no one say that the Scions do not repay their debts. After all, what kind of people would we be if we forsook our friends? If we stopped looking for Ida and Papalymo, or if we gave up hope of bringing Minfilia back? Tataru's like, she's still kind of alive, right? Like, a little bit? Even if she is transformed? Though she knew it would cost her dearly, Minfilia reached out to us to deliver a message. She believed it was imperative that we understand the true nature of this star, of the rift between Zodiark and Hydaelyn, and of the Ascians' aspirations. But for all that has been revealed, I cannot shake the suspicion that there is much we have yet to learn. Alfino's like, I still think there's like an entire expansion or two that might explain more of that, but maybe we should wait. In any event, I think it's time we step back from the fray and carefully consider our next course of action. It will not be easy to turn this tragedy into triumph, but we will find a way. We will. We will. Ah, the hell with it. I don't think it even ever matters. I debate choosing rewards based on like doing alt classes, because like I said, it's not the best in slot gear at this moment. It was back in the day.
Of all the ways for it to end.
I like that
Even
they wiped the
before
blood
his
off.
transformation, I could feel the worm's hatred swirling about Estinian. The terrible, all-consuming rage. Enough to fuel a 1,000-year quest for vengeance. It was all I could do not to run away screaming.
Ikrail's an extreme empath. In like
But
a mystical
Ishgardians,
sense.
nay, all Eorzeans, are made of sterner stuff. They face danger and death on a daily basis, and understand what it takes to win a war.
Think not too deeply on Master Matoya's words. Her intent was but to steal our resolve. That, and to remind us to look beyond these passing conflicts to trials greater still. To the truth which hides at the heart of this world.
So that's your aim, is it?
You disapprove?
Not at all. I believe it's traditional for the student to follow in the footsteps of the master. And you are so very alike.
Oh, hey, it's that guy again. Why do you gotta disrupt the mood, buddy? He's like, I'm here to remind everybody that I'm still around. Thancred's like, there can only be one hero male around these parts.
Change. That great inexorable wave was upon us, and soon all of Ishgard would bend to its will. For all our sins, for all our scars, the future for which we had long yearned was at last within our grasp. But it would be bought at a heavy price. For in those twilight hours did Nidhogg cry out for vengeance, and his brethren raise their voices for the final chorus of the Dragon Song War.
Meanwhile. Caution, Ida. That is all I ask. Do not be so eager to place your faith in them, not until we know more. And now for your 5-second snippet of Ida and Papalymo. Alright, that finally concludes Gears of Change. This will start the next patch. So yeah, as I predicted, we're gonna have plenty of time to do some dungeons. Also we learned the emote battle stance, which is also fun. So Gears of Change, I think, was probably one of the most interesting patches. I mean, it starts in motion pretty much the rest of the Dragon Song War. We shouldn't have left Estinian alone, or Nidhogg Estinian. I think so fans were starting to come up with Nidstinian. That's the nickname of this entity, because it's not quite Estinian, even though that was the voice box. It was Nidhogg channeling himself through Estinian's body, of course. Robert Vernon did really well on those lines, honestly. I could, like, feel the Nidhogg through that, so... Oh yeah, I found these guys. Mr. Savage, I believe I have yet to properly express my gratitude to you for coming to my aid. Yorva's like, all I did was sit and watch as you writhed on the ground in bruises and pain. Pray accept my most sincere apologies and my heartfelt gratitude. I should also express my thanks for looking after my lord during the Grand Melee. Though he appears to have benefited from the experience, I have no doubt that he will stray from his chosen course once more. But when that time comes, I shall do my utmost to keep him on the path. Vanillin's like, I'm gonna go right back to schmoozing again. No lessons were learned. You know, old girl, I've been thinking. And he's like, and it's been hard to think. Maybe it's not all bad. True, the peace conference was a complete disaster, but it did serve to unite the people after a fashion, did it not? All we have to do now is, kill the dread worm that has seized control of the Azure Dragoon and is planning to lead the Horde in an assault on our fair city any day now. Any day now. Yorva's like, you almost got it, Amanolin. You almost just gotta think a little bit farther. So, yeah, okay. So, I keep mentioning the Arboretum. We need to go to... Where now? It should be in this... Oh, there it is. And I believe it's this guy? No, that's the striking dummy to test out if your DPS is up to snuff to do EX fights or Savage. Disarmed. That sounds like... Oh god, there's just too much. I gotta figure out which one's the Arboretum. One of these should be the Alexandrian quest line, but we're gonna get into that later. Trying to think when a good time would be for that. It could be after this. And then we also have to figure out when to do the Void Ark quest. Or it starts with Void Ark. Yes, but where the heck is this? Where is this NPC? Is he outside? He or she? It has been over a decade. I didn't even know that was a thing. Well, anyways. They're saying on the Wikipedia, Dravanian hinterlands, X-coordinate 12, Y-coordinate 19. 12... Okay. So it's gonna be out there, pretty much really close to where the Arboretum is. Cool. So our adventures with Alexander will bring us to that bubble right there in the distance. In which I would try to blame Charlayan for just leaving that there, except they're not really responsible for that, so... I'm still gonna blame them on leaving all of this other shit behind, though. This is nearly unacceptable. Oh wait, what am I doing? I don't have flight, as you can see here. And there's not a way across, except through there. God damn it. Gotta go back. Yorva's like, oh, I have to do this. I think I can blame Charlayan for the Arboretum. That is their structure they left behind. I just can't quite remember why we had to deal with something inside of there. Like, I know the dungeon pretty well, because, you know, very occasionally I get it in my roulettes. And then there's another version of St. Moshian's Arboretum that's later on that has another plot line to it. I do like that they will occasionally have us come back and revisit some of the old optional dungeons. You know, I really do hope they do that for some of the dungeons in Endwalker, or heck, even Shadowbringers for that matter. I can see why they shied away from Shadowbringers. It's hard to bring Warrior of Light back to that plot, but... Okay, so there's a treasure hunter. What? There's one behind me, isn't there? No? Oh, thank the gods. I've done enough running for one day. Those goddamn beasts came out of nowhere. It's a wonder we made it out alive. We? I only see one of you. But we can't just leave the treasure there. You look like the sort that's used to risking life and limb. What about it, like, tips you off? Like, I know I'm kinda badass, but she's just like, yeah, you look like you can go on a suicidal mission. Be that as you could help clear a way through those seedkin that damn near made a meal of us. We'd see that it was worth your while, of course. And she's, Yorva's like, what do you mean by we? There's just you. If you're interested, let my friend Swanee know. What kind of name is Swanee? He should be somewhere near the entrance to St. Moshian's Arboretum. Well, I reckon it's safe to go back to Idleshire and look for a few more hands. We'll need as much help as we can get. Hope to see you at the Arboretum. Okay, so it's literally just a treasure hunt. No wonder I kind of forgot what the heck we were doing here. Very close to things like Hullbreaker or even Lost City of Amdapor. One of the very first dungeons that you can do after you complete A Realm Reborn is, you know, the Tonberry Castle. Oh man, can I shake this guy? I hate that I'm still in an era where I can aggro things at level 60. But, that one is supposed to send you on a treasure hunt, but it's not really a treasure hunt. You're here to help with the Seakin infesting the Arboretum? Thank the gods, first of all. This guy. He's got such a fro. I also don't know why anytime somebody with really dark skin and, like, obviously, like, you know, African-inspired looks, they always have blonde hair in this game. Like, there's several black characters I can point out in this game that they usually have light-colored or blonde hair. I don't know what kind of design twists they're going for, like, if they're trying to create some faction of people, like, they have very dark skin but very fair hair. I mean, not to say that, like, it's... Personally, I love designing, like, darker skinned characters that have, like, bright pink hair or blue hair or something like that. Like, that's really fun. But I'm just like, why is it that they never have, like, just, you know, like a natural fro looking going on? But I don't know. Like, sometimes I wonder, I'm like, are they making, like, a faction of people, like, where there's, like, certain traits going on? They used to, he's like, are you done talking about my fro? He's like, I can give you my bleach. They used to research plant life from every corner of the realm here, you know? Of course, with no one to look after, it's gotten a bit, overgrown. Usually, places like this are more trouble than they're worth, but if the parchments we found are anything to go by, there's something in these ruins that could benefit everyone in Idleshire for generations to come. A proper, priceless treasure. Please tell me it's not like the power of friendship or something. And it goes without saying that a site as old as this is sure to be stuffed with all sorts of precious relics, which you'd be welcome to keep if you can help beat a path for us. We'll follow behind you once it's safe and see if we can't find what we're looking for. There we go, the famous St. Moccasins Arby's burrito. I can't even remember who first made that joke. Okay, I definitely have the best gear on that I could possibly have right now. I don't think Hachi is online. I just double checked. So we're going in with randos. That's cool though. That's kind of the day in the life of Final Fantasy. So wait, what was I going on about? I don't think I was going on about anything. Whatever it was, I've completely lost the thought. Oh, the St. Moccasins Arby's burrito joke. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how that started. Somebody, funnily, like, just labeled it that on the internet, and then it just became the nickname of this dungeon. That, I think I call it St. Moccasins Arby's burrito way more often than I ever say St. Moshien's Arboretum. I remember this. There used to be... The reason why this is here is there used to be a ether current on it. Not anymore. But there definitely was one right here. I remember that. There was also an annoying one, like, down over here. Oh, wait, let me, heck, I'll just switch to summoner real quick. I'm gonna absorb some of the XP out of that. You get free XP just for, discovering a location. Not that that's terribly a lot of XP, honestly, but... Samurai's probably gonna hit level 61 with this, dungeon for sure. I have no idea what level we're going to be when we finally do make it into Stormblood area, but it'll be funny as hell if we end up being level 70. But I don't know. Seems like we did all those quests, and we're still level 60, so... But this is definitely going to send us into level 61. Typically, how I do, like, A Realm Reborn is that I usually keep some other classes that are leveled behind me, and I switch off between them to kind of, like, you know, absorb the XP. But, you know, I kind of want to keep Yorva Samurai for the most part. And that will probably come at the cost of being at max level far before we were even allowed to be. Like, I can only imagine going through all of A Realm Reborn and all of the other expansions, like, even doing optional dungeons like this. Like, how... Somebody must have done it, I'm pretty sure. And in fact, many someones must have done it. Like, how over-leveled would you be? Like, when would you meet max level, like, level 100? Would it be as early as Shadowbringers or something like that? Like, I would like to know. Of course, the XP cap... cause, let's say this, you're, like, level 80 and you're accepting level 60 quests. Well, obviously, you're not going to be getting a lot of XP. You won't be leveling up very fast if you're level 80 and you're still, like, in the level 60 territories, you know what I mean? But, like, dude, with how easy it is to rack up, like, all you have to do is probably do duty roulette, like, almost every single day for... maybe only like a few weeks, and you just reach max level 100 without having any access to the level 100 gear, obviously, other than stuff I guess you could buy from the market board. But man, the XP you earn in some of these things is just absolutely crazy. So I still gotta work on whatever quests around here. That one for sure. Are those the only ones that I would have left for my ether currents? Because right now it's just... let's see, I'm missing 4 of them, so there'll be 2 more. I assume they're in Idleshire. So we'd have to pick up that quest and Louder Than Words. I'm assuming that is one. I'm looking for ones that have plus signs because those are ones that do like unlockables or... you know, I'm pretty sure the plus signs are purely for unlockables or just something that's something you need. Because not all the time is there like an item locked behind a plus sign quest. Like you could just accept a perfectly normal non-plus sign one and they might give you a minion for it. But I'm 90% sure these 2 right here are ether current quests. And the 10% is being knocked off because I'm not quite sure Sarorogo, but I mean, God probably does. And there's so many plus signs around here. That one looks like it's going to be an ether current quest. And then one of these guys probably have it. But the plus sign on the quest markers here could also mean like dungeons. This is literally the striking dummy, which it's been a hot minute since I even ever used this one in particular. I use Dawn Trails occasionally. I think actually I used Dawn Trails striking dummy to test out my DPS probably like twice ever. because I haven't been doing high-end content. Like, I think I only wanted to test it for some EX fights, and that's about it. And I haven't really been concerning myself with gearing ever since. I've just been having a lot of fun watching other people beat up the clown lately, and which I think I found out who World First, wasn't it? I mentioned it on the stream quite a while ago. That was back when it first dropped. I'm also looking at my calendar because I know FanFest, the second part of the FanFest, is coming up towards the end of this month. I believe it's the 28th or 29th, which is like just almost 2 weeks from now, a little less. I know the next patch of Dawn Trail will be dropping. It's not a big one, but I do know a certain Hildebrand Inspector, I believe the final part of that story is finally dropping. I didn't even start it yet. I keep talking about it. I keep procrastinating on it. I think at some point I did just say, how about I wait until the final bit drops and then I will do the whole thing in one. So expect that perhaps towards the end of July, one of these streams will become a Zviyaya hour as we go back to her, and we will do Hildebrand, which I think will be a fun time. I believe I recorded all of the Endwalker Hildebrand questline. Oh gosh, that does remind me that we do have Hildebrand questline here in Heavensward. Larks and I did the A Realm Reborn Hildebrand questline together, so I won't feel the need to go into that in this one. I'm not sure, like, should I do parts of it with Yorva? I could just go back and do some with Zviyaya instead. You know, it's like some of these questlines are kind of broken up, because some of them I've done with Zviyaya, and now some of them I've done with Yorva, you know. I might just keep this series as truly, like, the solo mode of just mostly kind of doing duty support things, because that's kind of my aim with this, is mostly getting a fresh look at duty support, because pretty much most of the duty support that has happened after the Aerie I have never seen, so it's kind of a blind-ish. It's like some of these dungeons I'm like, I've been doing them for ages, I just haven't done them with duty support. But by the time we finally get to Shadowbringers, of course, I played through all of Shadowbringers with Truss, and I have been using Truss ever since. But so I think I'm gonna leave Hildebrand to Zviyaya. We'll keep Yorva as more of a showcase of the duty support and trust system, and that's how I'll kind of brand this. I don't know. Every time I think about, oh, what's your YouTube branding? What's your Instagram branding? What's your handle branding? I'm like, do not speak to me ever again. It's one of the reasons why I really can't make it as a full-time artist, because I can't stand the marketing world of what's your brand. I get it. It's actually really important to have branding, because it creates unity, it creates a look, people aren't confused about what you do. However, I also want peace of mind. So sometimes some things aren't worth their peace. But for the sake of, you know, unity, continuity, and the way I've, like, labeled this series, we're gonna keep it solo mode. I say this as I'm still queuing into a player-based dungeon. So it's like, as much as possible, because it's like we do not have duty support for these things, and until we do... Back when we were doing, the Fractal Continuum, we were talking about the old, it's like Grand Company squadrons. They were the first iteration. I think it was them trying to figure out and tinker with duty support and trust. And it's rough. They need to fix it quite a lot. But, oh, this music is very, very beautiful, by the way. This is kind of a relaxing dungeon. It's like lo-fi chill music. Actually, I wouldn't call this lo-fi, but still chill. So technically, this is outside of 3.2. This is 3.1. So not only are we not doing the solo part of the solo mode, we're also not doing 3.2. As far as dungeons go, I like the design of it. I love the music. It's got a somber feel to it. The boss fights are fine, but as, you know, dungeons go, it's like pretty much you're just plain bread and butter dungeon, you know? It's like go in, fight some enemies, get some treasure, question mark. Hence why I think I have no memory of this plotline. I just remember the dungeon itself. Oh yeah, and Kopokers! Kopokers are these little, I don't know, I guess you could call them seedling guys? There's a few mounts out there that you can ride on these little guys. They float up in the air with their little leaves. My favorite one is the chocolate mount that was given out around-ish Valentine's Day, but for those of us in the US, you got it through buying Butterfinger merchandise. And you better believe I hate Butterfinger, by the way. I'm one of those people where I can't stand that peanut butter stuff sticking to me. Oh boy. Oh boy, this is not great. Is anybody else noticing that lag? Oh no, the healer. Maybe I wasn't the only one. There was... Okay, yeah, the healer's totally DCing. That sucks. I almost thought that was me for a minute, though. I hope the stream's doing fine. I'm looking at my phone right now, and it looks like we're doing alright. Did we do anything with those guys? Shit. I don't know, without a healer, it's gonna be rough. I'm even messing up my rotation because I don't know what to do. a minute there, I noticed my hits were not landing. Oh boy, there's those rose hips again. I don't know if we're supposed to attack them or just avoid them. Okay, yeah, we were supposed to. Yeah, there's... Yeah, they're confirming it. Yeah, there was... That's great. Now I know it's not my internet. There's something with the server. Sometimes, though that's honestly very rare. The server hiccups, and if your game can't take it, you'll crash. I know I felt it, but luckily mine held up. I really hope that's not a precursor to some DDoS, because that's usually the cause. If we're having problems, I mean, like, we're in the clear, like, we got through the story that I wanted to, so... It is not going to be any skin off my back if we don't, Okay, good, we got those. If we don't finish these are just, this is just fun time. We're just filling in some time right now. But, the only times when I encounter severe problems with the server is usually it's being attacked, and, that's no good for, like, everybody. Right when I started the stream, like at the very, very beginning, I noticed like my Wi-Fi was really bad, and I don't play this game on Wi-Fi because one, I wouldn't, I just wouldn't, like, there'd be no starting up this game if it operated on Wi-Fi. And then the second would be like, you know, I definitely would have ended up like the healer there. Heck, I don't even think the server needs to hiccup for my Wi-Fi to just be like, you ain't playing. I want to know how a Thavnarian tortoise... Actually, no, I know exactly how a Thavnarian tortoise got here. Never mind. Endwalker will go into details, but Charlanes have things called gleaners. Gleaners travel around the world and, like, they pick up neat stuff. And I bet they brought it back here to the gardens. I don't know why they need a Thavnarian tortoise specifically, but, you know. I mean, I can figure out why they need bees. But first of all, these are called hawks, which are like hawk wasps. Are wasps really good pollinators? Like, mostly I know wasps to just be little bastards. And now here's a bee cloud. And bees would be great. Okay, that one literally says hornet, so it's like, you're not a bee. I can only hope that they're also pollinators, but I'm just like, dude. I think we're supposed to attack the honeycomb. or else more just come. I don't know. I guess they just come as you attack it. Down the honey slide. Ugh. Okay. Again, I hope these are bees. I hope they're pollinators. Bosses like these gross me out. I have, like, I don't know, phobia. I have discussed this on another, because I know it's something we talk about occasionally, but you know how there's like arachnophobia mode on most games because there's a lot of people who have, you know, fear of spiders, which, you know, is totally valid. I actually don't have that. I just have a fear of, like, I don't like wasps, I don't like bees, I don't like mosquitoes, I don't like dragonflies. Dragonflies are gross. I don't like their fluttering little wings. I don't like their bulbous little bodies. They're disgusting, but also, like, they severely creep me out. Like, it's that kind of disgust where you see, like, a monster or something, you know? But, I pray one day somebody gives me an arachnophobia mode of, like, these kinds of creatures. Cause, let's see, there's... Oh god, am I in the right spot? Okay, there we go. Yeah, that stuff really hurts. Of course I get fucking cleaved. I was trying my best, but that little poisonous hole... Yeah. Yeah, I had to kinda distract myself with that fight, because I never like this kind of fight. It's always like, ugh, it's uncomfortable, but I can get through it. Yeah, in Skyrim, there's the Chauruses? God, what are they? The little bug guys that crawl around usually in the Falmer ruins. And, or I should call it the Dwemer ruins, but the Falmer are usually there. There is an advanced form of them where they're like these winged things. And I can't stand to look at them. Like, I have to close my eyes and let Miol go on ahead and beat them up. 100% I have Miol all the time in that game. Miol is like my favorite character in Skyrim. I think she's probably a lot of people's favorites. It's not like, I'm like, unpopular opinion, Miol is like the best character in Skyrim. Like, I think 90% of people like Miol, so. Followed by, what is her name? Ayla, the Huntress. Or I guess she would probably be number 1 on the Skyrim hot waifu list. Me, I'm Miol. Team Miol. Even at the cost of having Aaron follow me into my house all the time. But, Miol has to squish all the bugs for me, and she does so well. My indestructible Skyrim wife. I just, unfortunately, you can't have your Skyrim wife do these dungeons for you. Luckily, I don't think there's actually many dungeons with a boss that has, like, gross, disgusting bee or wasp things. Like, There's Honeybee, but she has like the cute. She's a cosplayer, you know. She's just like the cute little bumbly bee, you know. And that I can stomach. Like, if you give me like depictions of like the fat, fluffy bees, those are fine. I don't want to look at them too hard because they are just little alien bugs at the end of the day. But from afar, when all you see is their fuzzy little fat bodies, like, that's fine. That's cute. Like, but I feel like most people in the world hate wasps. I just especially hate wasps. They are disgusting, and I can't stand to look at them. They're an affront to God himself. I don't know. There's green on that too. Here we are, final boss. It's a stinky flower. There's a Chip and Dale dancer inside that flower. Yorva's has to go back to like Y'shtola and Alphino and like, so I went to the Arboretum and they're like, oh, how was it? She was like, there was a Chip and Dale dancer flower in there? Why would Charlene want that? Like, it was a really hot guy in the middle of a flower. Is this a safe spot? Yeah, for the most part. And then, like, Alphino and Y'shtola are gonna be like, I'm sorry, you found a what? I have to look away from his hot body. So these little seedling guys are just around and they just kinda occasionally just explode a little bit. I mean, I get it as a game mechanic, I just don't get it as like a lore point thing. Okay, now there's even more of them. Oh man. Is there any way to... Can I reach this? There we go. Yeah, the seedlings are very annoying. This is a safe spot. Do I have LB rights? Maybe a little bit more. Okay, now. Now we can have the treasure. You did good. Even though, you see, that's not your fault. I think the rest of us were all like, I'm just surprised it wasn't me. That was easy. I didn't even level up. I was so sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure if I'll turn in this quest. Haha! I knew the thought of the Arboretum's treasure would be enough to get your juices flowing. Please don't say that. Thanks to all the pruning you did for us, we were able to have a good look around the ruins. And it didn't take us long to find what we were after. Oh, I can't wait to tell Midnight Dew of the good news. Speaking of which, would you mind coming with us to Idleshire? Midnight Dew will want to thank you personally, and I dare say even an adventurer like you would be interested in our finds. Okay. Again, he still hasn't said anything about the treasure, and Yorva is like, I swear to God, if the treasure was the friends we made along the way, I'm going to strangle somebody. Like, she's gonna throw down her katana and just use her bare hands to strangle people. Because I'm now having the thought that Yorva still likes going after treasure, so of course she's just like, oh, treasure? And she didn't learn her first fucking lesson that when somebody just says nondescript treasure, she's gonna end up becoming the apprentice of yet another samurai sensei or something. She's like, surely this time there'll actually be treasure and I won't be rewarded with becoming a samurai apprentice. Sawney. Ah, you've come at last, adventurer. Well, let's give Midnight Dew the good news. I really want to call her Mountain Dew. If only her name was Mountain Dew. Now that's the ending I wanted to hear. Let's hope these seeds live up to their reputation. What fruit do you reckon they'll bear, adventurer? She's like, I did it for seeds? Something wrong? You seem surprised. Sonny, you did tell our friend here what you were looking for, did you? Now that I come to think of it, that little detail might have slipped my mind. I might have just said treasure. You see, the treasure we're looking for was seeds and sprouts that were cultivated especially by the Charlayans. Years of research went into breeding them, apparently, and they produced plants like you wouldn't believe. As of now, Idleshire's main industry is collecting the junk left behind by the Charlayans, but it won't last forever. Which is why it's important we find a new way to make ends meet, before we end up with nothing left to trade. Acquiring these sprouts as seeds was the first step to accomplishing that goal. If we can find crops that'll flourish in this land's changeable climes, we'll have a new industry that should keep Idleshire going for generations to come. Well, these seeds ain't going to plant themselves, so I best be about it. Something tells me growing them will make getting them seem easy. I was like, okay, that was hard to read. She's like actually reading the thought bubbles, or not thought bubbles, but speech bubbles, and they're like, what are you looking downwards for? It'll take a few moons till it's true. Are you sure just a few moons, I guess? But I look forward to seeing those seeds bear fruit. Make sure to visit us from time to time, adventurer. One day we'll treat you to a feast grown by our own hands. Yorva's like, I guess fruits and vegetables are a pretty good treasure. She's like smiling like that, like tight smile, like, I was tricked again by treasure. Okay. Now before we leave here, because we're still in 3.1, I wanted to check out where we find the Pharaoh's dungeon. Oh my gosh. Yeah, remember how I said my Wi-Fi was really slow? Yeah, I was making the assumption that Pharos was going to be where we found Pharos before, but I don't want to teleport all the way there only to find out that it's in the ass crack of nowhere. Okay, yeah, so it's not quite where the other quest is. So I am glad I double checked, because So where you first unlock Pharos is in Aleport, which is right close to here, but is it the upper decks or lower decks? It's upper decks, okay. It seems that this Pharos is going to be not the Fisher Quest. I didn't go to the upper decks, dang it. Upper decks. Okay. Is it in? And they're saying it should be at 12. Hold on a minute. Did I even do? I thought I went back and did some of these. We got Pharaoh Sirius. This should be Pharaoh Sirius hard, right? There's a check mark. I did it. Yeah, I've done the original Pharaoh Sirius, and this should be Pharaoh Sirius hard. I love the walkthrough. Despite the hard in the name, the dungeon is actually not actually more difficult than any other story mode dungeon. Huh, it's not showing up, so there's gotta be something in the way. Some of these quest lines get convoluted if you accidentally skip over it. Like, if I had not gone and done Pharaoh Sirius, of course you can't do the hard mode until you've actually done, you know, the first dungeon in question. But let's go check over here. At Aleport. Let's check our side quests. This is also a lesson in how to figure out why things are not showing up. Because sometimes, like, yeah, these quest lines get very convoluted. These are Chronicles of Light, On Trail, Grand Company. These are not what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking for. Oh. Lamence's side quests? We did that, we did Why So Serious, and we did Serious Business. Yeah, those two were done. So we have Why So Serious, then Serious Business, and then Things Are Getting Serious. And it should be found at Limsa Lamensa Upper Decks. Might have to come back if I can't figure out why it's not here. Because I've done the 2 quests that are involved. And it sounds like there was supposed to be an NPC like on this bridge over here. Meowlo's Final Fantasy XIV Quest Archive. Thank you, Meowlo. They went up to this guy over here. Okay. Okay, there we go. I just have 2 quests attached to this guy. We're good. Thank you, Meowlo, for your help. I needed a visual guide. Yorva! Perfect timing as always. Aren't you supposed to be in Ishgard? Yorva's like, I wanted to do side quests. We're in need of your talents to deal with some trouble brewing over in the Isles of Umbra. Again? Seems a pack of kobolds have made a grab for Pharaoh serious. The smiths working on the restoration barely made it out alive. Yorva's like taken aback. Maelstrom commands drawing up plans to take back the tower, with Master Mimidoa advising on how things stand on the ground. But when they asked him for his opinion, he kept going on and on about some adventurer from long past that helped him drive off a siren from the same spot. Now, no disrespect to the old fellow, but we don't have the firmest grasp in what happened then. Or what happened when, so we couldn't help wondering maybe Zero or your... Oh gosh. If Zero or your was none other than your fine self. God. Lamencins. You being a siren slayer and all, so what do you say? Willing to lend us an and writing the beacon, relighting the beacon? I was like, oh my god, you guys are exhausting. Sometimes I don't know what's harder to read for. Ishgardians with their ye old or Lamencins with their pirate speech. Or just Urianger, full stop. But I knew I could count on ye. One of our storm flyers is making the final preparations at the airship landing right now. Tell her Shara? How do you pronounce your name? Sit ye and she'll give you the particulars. He's like, I don't even know how to pronounce my own name. You're gonna have to figure it out yourself. So I'm not sure we did the optional Pharos dungeon in Realm Reborn. This dungeon isn't terribly, like, necessary for lore reasons, other than, like, Limson lore reasons. Like, it gives you a good idea of the area, I should say. Like, there's very good lore tidbits if you go poking around in this game. And all of it is really good and well thought out. Oh, he wanted me to go to the airship landing, not to the Isles of Umbra. Never mind, I'm just dumb. I'm just gonna go back. Yeah, just take some of my gil. It's not that much anyways. So I always highly recommend everybody to go poking everywhere, especially if you're really in depth with story and stuff like that, which this game, it brings on the story. But, I can say that, like, while it's really cool to be fighting sirens, you know, Pharos is not terribly needed to understand anything. Yorva, we are honored to have you with us. The situation is developing even as we speak. But I will do my best to explain what we know. So in the last iteration of this, we had to take out a siren that was literally luring people to their deaths and drowning them. And so we had to kill them. And then, now there's another problem. According to Master Mimidoa, he and his fellow smiths barely escaped with their lives when the kobolds began scattering bombs around the lighthouse foundations. He believes the beastmen intended to blow Pharaoh Sirius to pieces, thus disrupting our most vital supply route to and from western Lenosha. Needless to say, they cannot be permitted to succeed. We must act swiftly before the wrecks begin to pile up around Aleport. That is where you come in. The kobolds have sealed off the ground entrance, so we propose to take you to the top of the tower by airship. Once there, you will proceed inside and see to the bombs, along with any kobolds you encounter. The maelstrom will bring up the rear and secure the area. Before we proceed, I must stress the need for caution. Master Mimidoa suspects that if the kobolds are bent upon destroying Pharaoh Sirius, they will have more than a handful of flaming void scent at their disposal. Okay, hold on, what? You could just get some void scent? I'm sorry, you the bombs, I was with you, but what is this about void scent? One inopportune explosion could set the restoration back by moons, if not years. You know as well as I do how volatile bombs can be. If we are to save the beacon, we had best leave soon. So, we had to clear this out of a siren that had made its nest there. Now the kobolds are here. And I know what voice she's talking about, because that is a boss. But, do they just regularly summon void scent, like, just willy-nilly? Let's see if I can try to recall anything else I know about Pharos. I believe Pharos was part of 1.0. I don't think it was a dungeon. I don't think, Pharaoh Sirius became a dungeon until Realm Reborn. Yeah, I don't think... It was only introduced as a level 50 dungeon in patch 2.1. How fitting that a 2.1 is also a 3.1 dungeon. So, this lighthouse, that's what the Pharaoh series is, it's one of the big lighthouses around Limsa that helps guide ships into port. I can't quite see it around here, but there's a few more lighthouses, and then there's also the one that's in Lower Lenosha. But this one, as she said, was developed to help guided ships coming in from the western end. Eventually, the Calamity came by, and like with a lot of areas around the Eorzean map, its ether was corrupted, and you know what, maybe we should go take a looky-loo at it. But, while we're waiting... Oh hell, I'll just teleport straight there. So... It's got a really cool design with how it was struck by some ambient ether and then crystallized into corrupted ether. It glows in the dark. And if it happens that the sun sets here. But yes, this is the Pharaoh Sirius. And up top there, that is where the beacon is lit, typically. But yeah, so the calamity struck, and this went straight through the tower here. And they have been trying to fix that ever since. Yeah, it's starting to get dark. Set faster. Oh, it's getting... Oh, I forgot. It gets, cloudy the closer you get to it. So, the Isles of Umbra here is this little tiny piece right here. Before you could have flight, you had to constantly take a boat and transport yourself here. And yeah, it's constantly in a foggy mist on this part, but as you can see, it kind of glows a bit, and these blue crystals also start glowing, but I think we might have to wait for nighttime with that. But I'm gonna get out of the cloudy fog. Wish we could fly a little bit harder. Oh, well, looks like we ran out of time. So yeah, that ambient corrupted ether is going to be in the dungeon for sure. It's in the first dungeon. So the first time we were here, we went from the ground upwards to get to the top here to take out the siren. But now we're going to do the reverse. We're going to go from the top down into the basement. And again, it's one of those dungeons where it's like, this is your general fare, like, standard dungeon. I like the design, I like the music. I can't say it's terribly, extremely important. At least I remember the quest line for this one a little bit, though I did forget about the kobold bit. Mostly I remember the A Realm Reborn Siren quest, which is probably the more important one. And once again, we have a pretty good theme. Pretty haunting, also pretty chill. This one has a little bit more of a, like a forlorn. This questline is also a little bit more serious than grabbing up some seeds. Like, literally, there's, like, gonna be a terrorist attack by, the kobolds if we don't intervene. The kobolds must hate this place because, well, one, you know, they're constantly trying to disrupt, Leminson operations. The beef between Limsa Laments and the kobolds is a little less severe than Ishgard and the dragons, but it's definitely a case of, like, the Laminsons came here, the kobolds already lived on this island, and the Laminsons were at first like, hey, can we share it? And the kobolds were like, yeah, just let us have the mines, because they like to live underground. They're kobolds, of course, so, you know. And the Laminsons were like, okay, yeah, we just want, like, mostly the seas area and some land, and the kobolds considered, you know, the underground their lands, and, then the Laminsons decided, oh, well, actually, there's some precious minerals, or, I don't know, like, fuel, coal, I don't know. They found something underground, of course, that is valuable resource. And they went back on their little promise to the kobolds. They're like, never mind, we want to mine too because we're going to get lots of money from this, or it's going to fuel our ships. So the kobolds are actually rightfully pissed off at the Laminsons for not honoring the deal. If it sounds like Manifest Destiny a little bit, yes it is. I really have no idea what the heck this boss is even. corrupted ether in the form of a guy. The corrupted ether around here was like, what if we made a guy? And now this is a boss fight. I think you bring it over to one of these birds? No? There you go. Turns into a bird. Which are much easier to take down. Some of these mechanics are just like, when you get a yellow tether on you, bring it to the bird. And it's like, I'm sorry, what? It's like, I don't know, just do it. Oh boy. There. I guess I put it on a spider. I don't think the rest of the party got the memo. Oh gosh. Oh, there's that level up. The one that I kept predicting. What do we got here? Oh, it's still the Plague Doctor stuff. Okay. That makes sense. I think somewhere in A Realm Reborn, I think Larks and I made comment about it, but Ishtola even kind of tells Merowib in kind of a lecturing kind of voice, like, you know, the kobolds only attack you because it was you guys who, you know, went back on your word. And again, like, Y'shtola's like, if you want them to stop summoning Titan or Leviathan, well, I guess the Sahagin, or, you know, summoning Leviathan, perhaps you need to start making peace with them again. Because it was the Lamencents who started it. Kind of like how Ishgard was the one to first start the Dragonstone War, but... So maybe it's not all that weird that we came back to deal with some Lamencent affairs during Heavensward. Maybe not in range. I can't remember what the Sahagin have. I mean, they're in the waters, so I think naturally the pirates and Sahagin have just been fighting over, you know, who's sailing the seas and stuff like that. I don't think they had any deals, but the kobolds, like, you know, it's like, gosh, this could have all been avoided if you guys hadn't been fucking greedy. You told them, you know, they could have these underground parts, and then you said, actually, never mind. And it's like, yeah, you're the dickhole. And then you have to call the Warrior of Light in here to solve all your problems. Because because now they're going to try to attack the tower. Another kobold has hit the tower. Did our tank get lost? Oh, there he is. To be very fair, this dungeon is like... If you've not been here for a while, or this is your first time in here, it's pretty hard to navigate. There's a bunch of shit all around. I'm gonna grab this. The party don't mind. Grab that. I'm picking up whatever I can, even if I can't utilize it, I'm gonna turn in for company seals. Company seals become more and more important as you go on in this game. I've almost debated if I need crafters to help me repair gear and such. But I think for the most part, I mostly need it for, like, I don't know, glamour prisms. They get expensive on the market board. Oh gosh, I forgot. Are we supposed to stand on that, or what do we do here? Corrupted gel. Bring it over here, healer. Bring it over here. Ah, shit. It's gonna hurt. Okay, where is that gel? There we go. Oh, I think we just made it. Okay. Yeah, so, you have to use these little goopy guys to, plug the hole, or else, just like a gas leak, that's gonna explode on us and kill us all. Oh god, let's see. Yorva once again. Oh, my guy. Whatever. Hopefully we can just kill him. I'm being stunned. We cannot do anything about this. Yeah. We're just gonna have to hope we survive. Okay, there he goes, finally. Oh, those gloves are really nice. I remember them. I think I still kept them in my glamour dresser on Ziyaya. Okay, so now we're underneath where the kobold have been drilling. This is kobold mine territory. That thing out of the way. Living rock. What should we call this thing? I don't know, living rock? The person next to him's like, well, it's not inaccurate, but I feel like it's an understatement. Like, you're not wrong for it. Turn up my gauge so much. Can't wait until I unlock some higher moves, because there's a lot you can do with that red sword gauge down there. But there's even AoE. But oh yeah, we won't be able to go up there. Oh boy. We'll let him hit that wall, I guess. Alright, I'll get these guys. Bomb into incubators. They'll keep spamming bombs. That's like a new word I'm gonna come up with. It's like, I was trying to say spawning and spam. So it's like, okay, this guy has to go next. Yeah, okay. There we go. I can't remember what's behind that wall, but it's certainly more enemies, so... Okay. Now here's that void scent they were talking about. It's truthfully, I never even registered this as a void scent, but you know, I think this counts. I'm not sure. I just thought it was some magic fire bomb thing. There's something nasty I remember about this. Gray bomb. Yes, gray bomb needs to be taken down, like, immediately. Okay. The other bombs can harm us, but gray bombs can, like, ultra kill us. And if you're thinking, wow, this boss is going down real fast. Well, mom mad. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, that could be much worse. That wasn't bad. so that was Mom. Meet Dad. Big burst. That always hits hard. You ever see a move like that? Because it seems like our gear is up to snuff, so I'm mostly worried that my gear isn't up to stuff, but... Grey Bomb. Oh, I can't zip zoom over there. Oh, shit. I need a little help, guys, please. No. It's going terribly. Oh well, I guess we still made it anyways. But the it is not take out the blue bombs, it is gray bombs and knock the blue bombs away from them, but I don't have the keyboard to help them out, so... Good job, team. That was the okayest anybody has ever done it. Alright. Yorva's like, hey, I never want to do that again. The kobolds suck. Please stop antagonizing them. Yorva, you returned! You had us worried for a moment there. I heard most of you died, but then somebody came in clutch at the very end. We heard an awful rumbling coming from the deep underground and feared the worst, but somehow you're just still here. My men have concluded a preliminary sweep of the lighthouse, and we dismantled the remains of the bomb incubators. It would seem the beastmen have abandoned the tunnels directly beneath the tower. We have sent scouts in to pursue them, but the passage is stretched farther than expected. They are very good at making tunnels. Pardon the interruption. While we were secure in the interior, we found this old seafarer's knife lying on the floor, and one of the lads noticed it got the sigil of Diamanda of Naldik and Vimelli carved into the handle. Okay, so Diamanda is a well-known name around here. I see. Well, if anyone can tell us who this knife belongs to, I suppose it would be the smith who crafted it. And I cannot seek her out until the tunnels have been secured. I have yet another favor to ask Yorva. Would you mind delivering the knife to Lieutenant... She's like looking at her hand, like written down like Trashret in Aleport on my behalf. He is due to meet with the artisans of Naldik and Vimelli shortly. So Naldik and Vimelli are like one of the top tier craftsmen. Like, it's like saying, oh, this is Gucci, this is Prada. I expect he will be waiting at the docks. Do not concern yourself about the tunnels. We will find out where they lead, however far they go. On behalf of the Maelstrom, I thank you for your aid in reclaiming the lighthouse. Fortune go with you, till sea swallows all. Yorva's like, yeah. Till sea swallows all. Okay. Oh, there we can see all the glowy bits now. Yeah, there it is. It looks the most impressive in the middle of the night. Is the moon? Oh, the moon's kind of creepy too. Okay, so they're right around here. Yorva, I just heard the good news. By Lamian's blessed light, you did it. Or is it? Oh, it's Limlayan. You saved Pharaoh Sirius again for like the third time? I don't know. Guess technically just the second. Oh, what's this? Ah, I see. Well, I'll be sure to ask her about it. Speak of the devil, I like that you just heard footsteps. Oi, what's same? He has the right of it. He's like, I don't know how to pronounce your name either. Redcoat, how long do I have to rot in the tavern before your boys send them shite and kobold bastards packing, eh? Much more of this and me hammer and arm will be as soft as me lily white arse. If you don't remember Mimidoa, he was part of the original Pharaoh series, but he appeared in the Realm Reborn quest line during the part right before we had to face off against Garuda, and there was the siren, and we had to go on the beach, the shores of the Pharaoh series. That's why I said technically 2, because it's like we kind of did something in and around the Pharaoh series in Realm Reborn. But that's Mimidoa. A terrifying prospect, and won't make, and no mistake. Luckily, it ain't what we need to worry about, though, cause we've taken Pharaoh series back. And after the walloping our mate here gave them, the kobolds will know to keep their grubby paws to themselves in the future. Meaning you can get back to restoring the place in peace. The woman next to him had her father succumb to the siren and he perished in the Pharaoh series. And yes, her name is Diamanda. Miss Diamanda, while the lads were searching the lighthouse, they found something that might interest you. Does this here seafarer's widow look familiar? All too familiar, though it didn't look so worn down when I last saw it. I made this for Simon before he set sail 3 years ago. It was my first piece as a full-fledged smith. Simon? I think that's his name. As in Captain Simon from the Maelstrom Command? Yeah, that guy. The same. I never meant for it to be a farewell present, but knowing he used it often and kept it with him to the last, well, it meant a lot. Master Mimidoa, I think it's a sign. Why else would my first piece be returned to me but to show me how far I've come? Just seeing it makes me want to restore the lighthouse to its former glory even more, to make it into a place to honor the lost, rather than a place to grieve for them. Aye, lass, that's the way. There's things we all of us would sooner forget, but remembering them's what makes us stronger. Wouldn't you agree, Initiate? Speaking of remembering, You remind me of someone. Something about the eyes. Oh, aye, you're the spitting image of a lass that once helped me drive back an army of the undead. Yeah, he's talking about the realm report part. He can't remember most people. He's got some dementia going on. Alright, tough bugger she was. Like you, only taller. I don't know, I'm very tall. Never did find out what happened to her, but looking at you, I'm guessing she settled down and squeezed out a few youngins. Yeah, that definitely happened. It brings a tear to my eye to see you carrying on the family tradition. I'm much obliged to you, lass. Much obliged. I can't thank you enough for saving the lighthouse. If it hadn't been for you, all of our hard work would have been for naught. But I, for one, mean to make the most of this reprieve. I swear to you on my brother's memory— oh, it was her brother, not her father. Once we've finished with the Pharaoh Sirius, it will serve as more than just a guiding light to safe waters. It will lead the souls of those lost at sea back to familiar shores. Yeah, I do remember it was a family member. I just couldn't remember which one. Some folks see Pharaoh Sirius as a cursed reminder of the calamity, while others see it as a monument to Lamensa's golden age. But I'll bet it means more to the pair of them than anyone else in Lunacia put together. And someday, they'll show the world how it looks to them, like a beacon of hope. I realize I still ain't thank you properly for giving us and what with all this. Hardly needs saying, I suppose, but Maelstrom couldn't have done it without you. You can leave the rest of us, though. We'll see that the Smiths don't get disturbed again. Yorva's like, are you sure? Because that was a lot of kobolds. Like, a lot. Until next time, Yorva. And that, I think, was just pretty much the conclusion to the Pharaoh Sirius questline. So... okay, well, this is a good stopping point right here. So we did the 3.1 dungeons. We already did the anti-tower. What was the other dungeon that was 3.2? Oh, the next part of Lost City of Amdapor. Yeah, again, another one where I'm like, it's just kind of more of a flavor thing from A Realm Reborn, so not extremely needed, but, you know, still pretty cool to check out that dungeon, and then also, you know, Pharaoh Sirius, so it kind of does give some, like, resolution to the whole plot line, if you've ever felt like, oh, whatever happened to that place? You know, that kind of thing. I don't know why I'm going to middle of Nosha, I just want to. Well, anyways, 5 minutes, I don't know, like 7 minutes, but, you know, very close to 9 o'clock, so I'll end it out here, flying into the distance across Lunacia. And I'll see you all on the next stream on Tuesday, and hopefully we'll meet again on Thursday too of that week. So, no more cancellations. No more, what are they calling it? The lettuce diarrhea disease? Yeah. No more of that. So, everybody have a good night, and enjoy the rest of your evening.